Welcome. This is the Between Brothers podcast, where we bring you real talk, authentic takes, and laughs on sports, pop culture, and life. I'm your host, the Duke of Debonairness Lando, along with my big brother, Zero, the Chancellor of Charisma. Catch us up, Zero. How's your week been?
What's it called? I know tomorrow there's gonna be some folks that are getting cursed out because I looked at my work schedule and my work schedule says that I am still going across the water. It's like, oh, but the kicker is I get one Norfolk stop. It's like, why open your mouth and say anything if you're just gonna go back on what it is that you said to me? But it is what it is. Um, Saturday, Saturday, I had some disgusting nonsense happen. So Saturday, no, Friday, Friday morning, because what I learned was that you don't supposedly you don't breathe, you can't, your body doesn't allow you to breathe out of both your nostrils. Like, supposedly you can only breathe out of one at a time, and if during, yeah, it's like throughout the day it switches which one you can get air into.
Yeah, but it's not like you breathe through one nostril. It's
Oh, I know.
you only inhale through, I think it is, or it's either inhale or exhale. No, it's you inhale through both, you exhale through one.
So so it was early in the morning, like three something in the morning, and I can't breathe for nothing. And I've always had allergy problems, so yeah, I've always had allergy problems. So it was like, okay, this is really starting to get on my nerves. So then I'm like, you know what? I know this is nasty. I ain't trying to. This, I'm too lazy to get up. I'm just gonna push whatever comes out and wipe it up whenever it comes out. So I sneeze, hold my nostril, and just shoot. When I tell you, a perfect sphere of snot flew out of my nose and landed on the ground, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" It's like, this ain't. I looked. I was like, "Yo, I almost threw up." Like that. That shit looks so disgusting. Oh, I was like, hold up. So because um, it's like you said, when you inhale with in both, exhale out of one. Where the clog was the side that was the side that I was supposed to be breathing out of. Because as soon as I did that, it was like airway was clear. I was like, you, this is fucking disgusting. It was because it was like trying to breathe in and out. I couldn't breathe in or out of either one. And it was like, this is really keeping me the fuck up. And it's like, and I'm like, I'm fitting to invest in one of those like one of those I don't know what they call it, but it was like, I think you get like saline solution, and you basically like shoot the solution into your nose, and it comes out the other side. I was thinking about doing something like that. Yeah, getting that. But I know they said I think it was a, I don't know if it was a doctor who said it was like, you, that's fine, but you don't want to continuously do that because I guess the mucus has a has an actual function in your nose, and you don't want to keep on clearing that out over and over and over again. So it was like, I wanted to see how it would work. If it works well, it's like when I'll use it when needed, instead of being like, oh, first thing in the morning. That's the first thing I do when I get up. Is I brush my teeth, wash my face, clear out my sinuses, and I'm out the door. So yeah. And yeah, and other than that, is nothing else to report.
Um, so this weekend um was pretty decent. Didn't do a whole lot. Um, we were recording on a Monday, so I was off Labor Day. They had like a volunteer thing, which they do for like these holidays. Last time I did volunteer, but I was like sitting around looking stupid all day, and then they let me off like within like 3 hours of being there. So I was like, I, about to, I ain't about to go in there just for a couple of hours to look stupid. So um, we went to Mount Strashmore, and Coco Puff likes to play this game called Lava Monster. The rule is I'm not allowed to get on the park, but I got to chase them around the park. So sometimes they come down and like they try to like their saving grace is going back up on the platforms and stuff. So some random white kids started playing with us. I caught all three of them, but I didn't catch them all at the same time. So the rules are you get caught, you go to jail, and then your teammates got to let you out. So I didn't win because I didn't get all three of them right. The most I got was two at a time. And them kids, I guess they didn't, or the white kid at least, he didn't expect me to be as, I guess, as fast because I'm a bigger guy. So I don't think he thought that I was going to be fast. And then, but to be honest, it was just running around playing with the kids. In all honesty, even though I'm really nowhere near as fast as I used to be, like I really could have caught the kids at any time. So it's like, but that was fun, man. We, it's like some random. He was British, I think. Kid was British. So some random kid, came to play with us, and it was fine. So it was me, Coco Puff, and Mace running around the park. Um, and then the Duchess bought Battleship. So I never played the board game, or I guess it's a board game, Battleship.
Yeah, it is.
And so she beat me, which pissed me off. But it was funny because like she was beating me because there's like five ships, and you got to sink all five ships to win. She was beating me 2-0, and then I caught up, and then it was 4-4, and she came through in the clutch. So then she goes to play Coco Puff. Coco Puff first shot hits it. After that, Duchess is shooting everywhere, missing everywhere, and Coco Puff just dominated from the get go. Then today we were playing a Disney trivia game. So there was like adult questions and then there were kids questions. The adult questions was absolutely outrageous. It was like, yo, who was the composer of this song? Would everybody know that?
I was like, bitch, I don't know.
Bruh. It was so I told the kids because it was everybody but Link playing. So um so yeah, so everybody who was in high school, so I was like high school age and older can't do the kid questions. Man, I ended up giving them some grace, the high schoolers, because the dumb questions was brutal. Some of the questions was absolutely brutal, man. So, but Coco Puff won that one. I was like, okay, Coco Puff winning everything. Now, of course, she had the easier questions, but there were some questions I didn't think she would get, even though she had watched the movie, just because of like the names and stuff. And she knew their names and everything. I was like, oh wow, okay, Coco Puff. But then what pissed me off is Mason was like, oh, Coco Puff got all the easy questions. Y'all were literally picking from the same pile of questions. No, you just don't watch TV. You just don't watch movies. I'm like, that's nobody else's fault. You watching dudes jump on trampolines on YouTube all day. That's why you're behind, don't know nothing. And then earlier this week, I was going to the gym. I'm pulling up. There's kids at the bus stop. I'm pulling up. They stay in the middle of the street. As I continue to pull up, there's one black kid and three white kids. The black kid starts to maneuver over to the sidewalk, while the three white kids are looking at me like I'm supposed to stop for them. So then I slowed down. You was with me on the phone, and I said, "Do y'all have a death wish or something?" And the kid who was like they all ended up like maneuvering except this one specific white kid. He's like creeping over, and I was like, "You got a death wish or something?" And he's like, "No." And I was like, "Well, then get the F out the street then." And he jumped over to the other side, like, "The heck are you doing?" I'm like, if I remember because he was because technically they were jaywalking. I don't know how that works in Virginia, because I would have hit him. If I knew the rules to that, I would have hit him.
Yeah, I'm about to look him up.
So outside of that, cursing out some kids. I had fun with the kids for the most part. So yeah, it was a good week, man. It was a good week. But anyways, my favorite time of the year, the Sunday before NFL season, because we get to do this podcast and we get to give our predictions on the NFL season. Never really tracked how well we do or how well we've done in the past, and this is what, year 4?
Yeah.
3? No, we've been doing the podcast for 4 years, so this would be, I think this will be year 3 we're doing this. No, year 4. I think I'm thinking 3 years because when Jelly Ball was going through her stuff, you weren't able to get on for that. So I think that's why I'm thinking it's 3 years. But anyways, yeah, man, we locked in. We're ready. And also, before I get started, I did have a whole plan and a whole rollout for Lando Sports Discussions. But when I was going to edit the videos and start releasing them, I realized that I was having microphone issues. So changing some things up a little bit, which I'll get to at the end of the episode. But I will have everything up before the season starts. But yeah, usually how we do it, we make predictions on, who the playoff teams are going to be, who the champion is going to be, and then predict the awards, and then wrap it up. But and of course, maybe some other storylines that may come up as we talk about the teams and everything like that. Normally, this time of the year, I would go through the schedule and then pick, who I think will win or lose every game, add up the records, see who ends up being the 7 playoff teams, and then go off of that. There's no real science to it. Every single year we get teams right, we get teams wrong. So it's it's nothing. There's no science to make it perfect. But this year I didn't do that because I was so busy with Lando sports discussions, and I was like, yeah, I just didn't have the time for it. And then, like I said, all that time was for that. Like I was literally up to finalize and record everything, the final episodes at 4 in the morning, recording, editing, doing all that stuff just to see the microphone was going in and out on certain segments. And so, yeah, brutal stuff. But yeah, man, let's get into it, man. I need some help. My AFC teams weren't complete. So I wanted to hear from you and see what you had for your AFC teams. We'll get to them in a second. I'm going we're going to start with the NFC because I didn't really have real confidence in any teams except for the divisional winners. And and we spoke about that this morning, and even 9 hours later, I still don't have any confidence in anybody. I did come up with a 7, but it's a fluid 7. It's a very fluid 7. Like if you can tell me something that would convince me otherwise, I can definitely get rid of any of these bottom 3 teams. But but anyways, let's start with the NFC. I'll lead off with the NFC. I got Philly. I got Philly making the playoffs, of course, winning their division. I got the 49ers winning their division. Philly's the obvious reason. Obviously, it's not because they won the Super Bowl, but as y'all will hear on Lando Sports Discussions, I think that they have the best roster in football. And, technically the 49ers did the year before, right? And they missed the playoffs. The difference that I think between the Philly one, of course, they won their Super Bowl. And 2, they didn't have a bunch of drama in the locker room throughout the whole season. No salary holdouts, no lingering injuries, anything like that. So that's why I really love Philly there. The 49ers I love because they got the easiest schedule in football. And they're getting back pretty much most of their players healthy. Ayuk, I think, is supposed to be out till like week 5 or 6 or something, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But and I don't think he's going to come back and make that much of an impact like immediately. But I think that they did the other guys, the Jawan Jennings and Kerry George Kittle. I'm thinking NBA already. George Kittle. I think that they're good enough to be a solid receiving core until Ayuk gets back right. I got Atlanta winning the South. I got the Lions winning the North. I know the Lions, they lost 2 offensive linemen, one to retirement, one to free agency. But I'm really not worried about the Lions. Like the Lions, I think, still got a formidable offensive line. They're getting Aiden Hutchinson back. Their defense is very good up and down. And the only concern is their only concern every year, which is Jared Goff going to be as good? And losing Ben Johnson could be, an issue, but I don't think that's going to be that big of an issue because the team is a physical team. So it's like physicality doesn't fade just because coaching goes away. The Rams, I got the Rams. I wasn't really confident in the Rams because of the Matthew Stafford back thing. An old guy getting a back injury is usually not a recipe for winning a lot of football games, especially double digits. But I didn't really have that much confidence in all the other teams. So I got Green Bay. Green Bay was borderline for me initially when I was thinking about this, but them picking up, I think they were ranked top 5 in defense last season, total defense. And then they picked up the best pass rusher in football, arguably, at least according to pass rusher win rate, Micah Parsons. So I think that solidified them as a playoff spot. And then, even though I'm not thinking about him being much of a head coach, my last spot goes to the Bears. I think the reason why I leaned Bears was because, and Bears ultimately made my seventh spot, was because they did so much work to build their offensive line. And so hopefully that doesn't, them being able to protect Caleb Williams doesn't get him to doing the hero ball nonsense that he was doing last season. And I think Ben Johnson does know how to coach the quarterback position. So because of those things, their defense really isn't very good, in my opinion. But I think it's enough. And I don't who are the other teams? I'm sure you'll have some other teams in there. But I think the Vikings last year, even though they're very well coached, I think that was a little bit fluky. And then who do you trust in the NFC South or East? You know what I'm saying? Like the East is so. Also, Washington, I think last season it was a lot of luck, and I think they're going to regress this season as well. So that's generally what I look for is teams who have the potential to regress, and then if they regress, who are the teams poised to take their spot? And so that's where my 17s come from. That's why I didn't have any confidence in the AFC teams outside the top four. So go ahead, Zero. Who's your NFC football teams' predictions for the playoffs?
All right, so division winners: Philly, San Francisco. I agree with Atlanta. Yeah, I agree with Philly. I agree with all of them. Yeah, all the division winners. My three wild card teams: Green Bay, LA, and kind of a surprise. I think the other one's gonna be Arizona.
Whoa. Okay. Okay. Last season I was big on Arizona. Last season I was big on Arizona. They were my final seed. Actually, I did put some money on them to even win their division. And they got on top of the division for a very brief moment. And then it all fell apart.
Yeah,
Why Arizona? Where's Arizona coming
from?
This dude better not get lucky like he did with the Vikings last year, y'all. Because I'm definitely gonna be like, you know what, just pick whoever. I'm gonna go with whoever you pick it.
I'm going with what you go with. Right. So I think a year with Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah, having another year together. I think because I think he's going to live up to his draft positioning. I think all that's I think with everything that happened last year, especially during the draft process and everything else, I think that caused a bit of a distraction that threw things out of whack. It shouldn't because you're a professional, but
yeah, I mean,
it still happens. It happens to the best of them.
Yeah, they're all human.
So I like the Will Johnson pick. Let's say if we didn't trade up for Hunter, I really wanted Will Johnson because I knew we needed a corner. He was the best pure corner in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I think he's going to do some really good things. Yeah, it's especially the Kyler Harrison connection that I think is going to run wild on a lot of teams. It's like so, but I still do think that they'll probably be like the seventh seed.
Yeah,
But still, I believe that with that combination, that combination they'll be able to do some things. especially offensively,
Yeah.
to get them back, to get them into the playoffs.
Yeah. No, and I when it came to me, I actually moved opposite when it came to Arizona, just because when with last season, and I'm probably putting too much emphasis on last season, but with last season, everything was poised for them to take over that division, and they still couldn't do it. And so it's just like, and like, is like Kyler to me feels like Trevor Lawrence, what Trevor Lawrence has been. Like, he's a year away from being a year away every year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, all right, like, when is it going to come together? Like, they both now got stud receivers for the first time in their careers.
Yeah.
So generally speaking, like, a lot of the professional bettors, they've been like big on Carolina, and Carolina being like that 7th seed team. And I'm like, usually when I see a quarterback make a jump, it's because the receivers are that good. Like, I mean, you know way more about this game than I do. When was the last time a quarterback made a jump and had not very talented receivers, like, even statistically? You're on mute.
Because I don't want to say Josh Allen, because Josh Allen grew into his own even after Diggs left. Um,
I'm trying to think. What were Josh Allen's numbers better? Had they been better since Diggs? Because I think he has like a lot more rushing touchdowns now than he did have, like a bunch of total touchdowns, but I think the passing touchdowns took a hit.
yeah, I'm about to check to see,
Okay.
because
Uh, so while you look at that, I'll just say, like, they were big on, you know, because of how they finished last season. Usually when a bad team finishes strong, they can build on that. And so I don't disagree with them, but I'm like, how is Bryce going to make that jump when they did nothing to get better at receiver? They didn't get any better weapons on the outside. So it's just like, how much better is Bryce going to be? And then also with the coaching, even though I think they have solid coaching, when you have your head coach bench you because you're not playing well, Andy Dalton comes in, he plays well for one game. He's also, after that, he's pure buns. And you were going to stay with him for the rest of the season if he didn't get hurt. So it's like, I don't know if you got the coaching that's going to build upon that.
yeah, his Allen's when it came to his passing yards,
Mm-hmm.
um last year it took a dip. He went from 43 he went from 4300 to 37, and his
Mm-hmm.
touchdowns have dipped. He went from 35 the last years with Diggs to 29 in 2023 to 28 last year. And
You
like
see,
you said, his rushing numbers, they significantly jumped up, because he went from the last year he was with Diggs, he had 7 rushing touchdowns, to the year after he left, after Diggs left, 15 rushing touchdowns, to having 12 rushing touchdowns last year.
you see what I'm saying? Like, I just don't. This is nothing against Kyler. I actually think that if Marvin Harrison Jr. can, like, perform how we believe he will, I think the offense is going to be good. I just think the defense is too leaky. It's like,
Mm,
I couldn't, like, even doing extensive research on this team, I couldn't find anybody defensively who was like that. Like, their
mm-hmm.
best player is probably still Buda Baker, and he's declining. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's my issue with Arizona. Even though they got like a good defensive coach, and I think their defense played above itself last season, I'm not sure how long they can continue that. So that's why I kind of came off of them because, like, I mean, McBride, where would you rank him amongst tight ends? Top 5, top 7?
Yeah, I'll probably say top 7.
Yeah, so it's just like they had talent. They had the talent. And Kyler, I don't care what nobody says, even with his stature, like he's probably one of the 5 most gifted quarterbacks in football.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they should be able to win. But like I said, just because it's like, man, when they had everything going right, they still found a way to F it up. It's just like last season, I'm scared of them this year. So yeah, I moved in the opposite direction for them this year. But yeah, no, I like your 7. I like your 7. I don't think you made any picks that were like I couldn't see it like with the Vikings last season, you know. Because I think their offense is going to be good enough. So who do you have as the 1 seed? Like, did you have a 1 seed, or do you think did
No,
you?
I have Philly.
Yeah,
I have
Philly.
Philly as a 1. So
Gotcha.
I have Philly as the 1, um San Fran as the number 2,
Yeah,
um Detroit the 3, and Atlanta the 4, because I think Atlanta's barely gonna make it in at 9-8.
yeah. I'm literally the same way. I I I think I I think I for me personally, I had San Francisco number 1 because of the schedule,
Mhm.
because how weak the schedule is. Philly and Detroit, it's going to be. I think they're going to finish with a. If I'm just like looking at them on paper, I think they may finish with the same record, but it would make more sense that Philly finishes 2 because their division is so pathetic now.
Mm.
I mean, Washington is still a solid team. I think they're still going to be a solid team and competing for that 7th seed towards the end of the season. But you
There's
got
a lot of
they got
outliers from
4
last
and they
year.
got 4 gimme wins with Dallas and New York. So it's just like you 4-0 already. It's
Mm.
like a Canelo scorecard. They just automatically give them 4 rounds for God knows why. So so like that's like you going while the Lions are in a tougher division.
Mm-hmm.
So but I don't think, like I said, I did these evaluations. I think that the Lions have the second best roster in football. Like not in the NFC, in football. They're that good. Um, on paper, anyways, you know, because we don't know how the game's gonna turn out. But on paper,
Yeah.
they're the second best roster in football. So it's just like even with the Ram or not the Rams, with the Packers getting better defensively with Micah Parsons, and maybe Micah could be that Clay Matthews, what Clay Matthews was for them. And so that'll shrink the gap between them. But I just think top to bottom, Lions just a better team.
Got you.
So, anyways, that's good. That's good. Were there any NFC teams you wanted to highlight before we moved on to the AFC?
Now we can move on.
Okay, gotcha. Before we move on, I did want to say this. I do think that the Saints and the Giants are going to be competing for the worst record in football, and I think the Cowboys want to as well. But I
they
think,
want they want to.
but you know, they don't know how to do anything properly. You know, so they'll like win games they're not supposed to win like 6 games for no reason. And then then the Packers, then in great Cowboys terrible luck fashion, the Packers with those picks are going to end up boosting up and being
Mm.
Super Bowl contenders, and they're going to get mad late picks, which you know Jerry Jones don't know what to do with those. His early picks are always great, late picks not so much. So yeah, That's what I would. But I'm because the Saints were the worst team that I evaluated until the Cowboys got rid of Parsons.
Side note, you remember when we would talk about folks telling stories like folks weren't there. Like when guys that are retired from sports, they'll tell a story like we didn't see this shit on TV or something of that
Yeah,
nature.
yeah, yeah.
So Chris Carter, he told a story about when the Vikings drafted Randy Moss. He said that Dennis Green called him and said, "We're going to draft Randy Moss." They were picking at 21, and it was widely speculated that the Cowboys would take him before he ever got to 21. Why in the hell would you have thought that y'all are just going to draft Randy Moss at 21 when it was saying that the Cowboys that then when early draft evaluation said that the Cowboys may be because why you think Randy Moss snapped on the Cowboys on Thanksgiving? He was mad because they said that they were going to draft him and he
Mm,
didn't get drafted by them. He took that
mm,
game personally because they passed on him for I think it was Greg Ellis, I think, the defensive end. Yeah, he was gonna get picked if the Cowboys stuck to their word. He was gonna get picked way before the Vikings ever got on the board. It's like, you mean to tell me your head coaches called you and said we're going to draft him, knowing what was being speculated? It's like, shut. I mean, he put everybody in the Hall of Fame, so I shouldn't be surprised. But it's like, yo, it's not like we weren't there. It's not like folks didn't know what was going on. We knew Randy Moss was like a top 5 talent, but you knew he was going to slide
mm.
because of his off the field stuff.
Yeah.
But nobody thought he was going past Dallas because Dallas wanted him bad, but they chose to go in a different direction.
Really, they want him that bad. That was a fumble. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Cowboys just going on for so long. But but yeah, so let's move on to the AFC. So you start with your AFC, your 7 AFC playoff teams. Because like I said, I think I'm gonna need your help. If not, I mean I'll probably stick with my with my 7, but let's go ahead. Let's hear
All
it.
right. So I got Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
So the usual, well, 3 are the usual suspects:
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo, Kansas City, and Baltimore.
Yeah.
So I think Kansas City and I think Buffalo's the 1, Baltimore's the 2, Kansas City's the 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to be a homer because I don't trust Houston's offensive line as far as I
Mm-hmm.
can throw them. I got Jacksonville winning the division, but
Mm-hmm.
barely. Like last
Mm-hmm.
like last game of the year, win and you're in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um my wild card teams, I have Cincinnati,
Mm-hmm.
I have Houston,
Mm-hmm.
and I have I got Pittsburgh.
Wow. See, last time I was shocked. I wasn't shocked, even though Arizona is a dark horse. I could see it.
Mm.
I can't see Cincy. I can't see Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I see. Well,
So
what's it called?
look, I want y'all to listen to what I just said. I said I can't see Cincy and I can't see Pittsburgh.
But you can
And
see
he
Arizona.
no, I can see the Jaguars.
Like so I just think like I know the defense is a concern on the Jaguars, but I think Liam Cohen is gonna do what he did with Baker Mayfield. Like with Trevor Lawrence, like he did with Baker.
Yeah.
Because Baker led the league in touchdowns last year. Yeah, I can
Did
see.
he?
Yeah, he did. I think he had 35. No.
I
Did
thought
he lead
Lamar led the league in touchdowns.
passing touchdowns? Oh, you know what? You may be right. You may be right.
I know Lamar had 41 touchdowns. Was that passing and rushing, or was that just passing? I thought it was just passing.
No, I think it was just passing. I think he had like 41 and 5 interceptions. I had to go and check because I may be wrong.
Okay.
What's it called? But no, I think Baker Mayfield just had a career high in touchdowns. I think that's
Yeah,
what it
he did
was.
have a career high in touchdowns.
So, and we already know Trevor Lawrence is way more talented.
Yeah.
But I also know I have to put in consideration that Baker at one point was throwing to Mike Evans and Godwin before Godwin got hurt.
But that was early in
So,
the season, and they lost Mike Evans for some time too.
yeah. Yeah, because the running game, because they were top 5.
Bucky Irvin, like excellent dual threat back.
Yeah, Bucky Everett and Rashad White. But what's it called? I think, yeah, I'm concerned about the defense, but I think the offense is like I think the offense will score enough points for the defense to do enough to not fuck it up.
Yeah.
Um,
You're gonna be surprised by my teams.
and what's it called? I just think I think that what's his name, as much as you hate Aaron Rodgers, as much as I've disliked him over the past few years, I think him going to Pittsburgh and him having a coach like Mike Tomlin will actually be revitalizing for him because it's gonna be somebody who ain't gonna take his shit, who's gonna be like, yo, you're gonna be held accountable for everything, and there's nothing that you can say or do to change my mind about anything.
Yeah.
I think that's what he needs. I think that's what is needed at this point. It's like, I know you're Aaron Rodgers, but you know who the fuck I am too.
Yeah. So, well, I guess Aaron Rodgers could say, "Well, I beat you in the Super Bowl,"
I'm saying we both still got the same amount of rings, so does it? Like...
all right. So here's my thing about. Actually, let me do my 7, and then we'll come back to them. So I got my division winners: Kansas City, Buffalo, Ravens, Houston. My wild cards: Chargers, Jaguars, Raiders.
I beg your pardon? The Raiders.
The Raiders. So,
what is Jency gonna have 500 carries a game? I didn't say 500 touches, 500 carries.
oh man, that's funny. So here's here's my logic with the Raiders. Okay.
Right.
One, F Sean Payton. That's most of it. there's no reason why the Broncos should not be here. There's no reason. People who's listening to this episode, who's watching this episode, there's no reason why neither one of us should have them. I did a whole breakdown. The Broncos are one of the 5 best rosters in the conference, and I'm not putting them in the playoffs solely because I don't like Sean Payton and I don't like Bo. I don't think Bo Nix is a very good quarterback. I think that also I'm like, because they had a good season, and then their weakness was the offense, and then they didn't do anything to invest in the offense, specifically in their running backs, which you have such a dominant offensive line. Why wouldn't you invest in that? I think they know that last season's Bo Nix is the best Bo Nix can be. So, with that being said, but Sean Payton's a hell of a coach. I just don't like him. So I am rooting for them. So this is a completely emotional pick. I don't care. Now, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets and everything last season, there was some emotional involved, but mostly logic. It was mostly logic. Nathaniel Hackett. It doesn't get more logical than that. So, like, what are we talking about? So the Raiders. Here's why ultimately I went with the Raiders, because these are the three teams I was down to, or the four teams I was down to. Two of them had to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Jags, Raiders, Broncos, and Titans.
Wait, what?
Titans. So I was like, okay, we got to figure this out. Why am I liking the Raiders kind of? Because Geno Smith, I've never thought much of him as a quarterback. But then I looked at season splits. Geno Smith indoors is one of the best quarterbacks in football. And now he has 9 indoor games next season.
Oh, shit.
No. You don't understand. That's just the home games. On the road, in the wintertime, he only has 1 outdoor game, and that's against Philly. So the dude is a monster indoors. Now, that defense is not good. It's not good. It is not good. I should have no faith that this defense is capable of stopping a nosebleed, as the great American philosopher Bart Scott once said. So it's also, I think GT is going to be a beast. And they also got, who's the other running back?
They got 2?
It's GT and somebody else. Genty. Why keep you saying GT? I think it's because of how it writes. Genty and hold on. Did I write them down? I need to go to the west. Where is the AFC West? Oh, there they go. There they go.
Raheem Mostert?
Yes, Mostert. I just pulled him up too. So I think the running backs are very good, and I love running backs, no matter what the NFL is trying to do to them when it comes to their paychecks. So,
and I completely forgot about Brock Bowers too.
Brock Bowers is probably next season is going to be, I think, overwhelmingly considered the best tight end in football. So, now the rest of the receiving core, I'm not too high on.
Yeah, they just signed back Amari Cooper, but he's past his prime.
Yeah, but I think he'll be serviceable. And then, but those defensive backs, good Lord, they're horrible. The other reason is because, bruh.
Then why pick the Raiders?
Bruh. The other reason, Pete Carroll. So when you get a coach that's that many levels above the coach before, Geno's familiar with Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll loves running the football and protecting the football, so he's not going to put them in that position. Chip Kelly is the offensive coordinator. He's a horrible coach, but a great play caller. So all of those things put together,
He
Not
goes a
only
recipe to success.
it's not really a recipe for success. Don't get that twisted. But it's a recipe to win 9 games and make it to the playoffs. Because at least we know at least Geno Smith is capable of winning 9 games because he's going to be indoors for most of them.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's crazy how
fact,
how he only has one outdoor game.
I don't think he has one outdoor game, but I think it's just one outdoor game with a team that plays in cold weather. I think his other outdoor games are in the South. So
Are
it's
they
like
early in the season?
I can't remember. I can't remember, but he only has like one dangerous outdoor game all season. And now, of course, it's against, like I said, the best roster in football. But that very well could get him hurt. But
exactly. And
but
they
it's
already
late. It's
missing
late.
Aiden O'Connell.
It's late. It's late in the season. So, it's like week 14. You know what I'm saying? We only got 3 games to go after that. But yeah, so that's where the Raiders came from. The Jaguars at Cohen. It's only about Cohen. That's why I can see it. Because he like the fact that he made Baker Mayfield look that good. Baker Mayfield was a top 10 quarterback last year. Something I never thought I would say. Something that my hate for Baker Mayfield won't allow me. I thought it wouldn't allow me to say it, but I have to admit it. And then the Chargers, I think they got something they can build on. Now, again, they're another team that just didn't care about investing in their running backs. And the loss of Slater could be huge in losing him for the season, but I think the offensive line is still good enough.
Right,
so yeah.
I'm looking up their numbers. Yeah, both him and Lamar have 41 passing touchdowns.
Wait, Baker had 40 passing touchdowns?
41 to be exact.
Oh snap! Let me put some money on Trevor leading the league in passing touchdowns.
He was 56. yeah, he had. Yeah, he's through. He 71%.
With his top two receivers out for half the season. Minimum. Yeah, I think Mike Evans missed like 5 or 6 games.
So
maybe he might not miss that many.
It was he threw for 71%, 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns, 16 interceptions.
That dude led the league in completions behind the line of scrimmage by a wide margin and still managed to throw 16 interceptions. Y'all see why I don't think that guy is all that? Don't make no damn sense. So yeah, and that's why I can see the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are going to be significantly better offensively. Because Cohen knows how to train the base, the footwork of the quarterback. Like that's something that Baker Mayfield cleaned up a lot. And so if Trevor can clean that up, which I haven't seen any preseason games except one Browns game. But because I don't really care for this preseason. Actually, I think the only reason I watched that game is because it was on.
But he had I watched when I think he had 2 drives. Yeah, his footwork was significantly better.
Yeah, so that's with Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be a beast. I hope I can win a lot of money off of him this year again. But my concern is the Travis Hunter thing because I don't know what position he's going to excel at. Like I would rather him be a full-time corner if he has to do something full-time, just because y'all need that more.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I thought. It was like, yo, if he plays, even if he played both, even if he plays both, I think I've said it to you before. I think his skill set is more geared toward the cornerback position versus the wide receiver position. It's like his athleticism shows a whole lot more when he's playing defense versus when he's playing offense.
Also, y'all new defensive coordinator. I like him because he is smart enough to know that the talent y'all have on defense does not garner running 73% of your defense in man defense. That was just stupid. That entire coaching staff needs to never be hired for anything again.
Yo, and this was a here nigga damn hire because we didn't. It's like I don't think Doug Peterson even wanted to hire him. But it's like, yo, we need to hire somebody. And he's the only
the second Robert Saleh got on the market, I would have fired him and got Robert Saleh. Instantly.
Instantly.
But yeah, it ain't gonna work, dog. And we're probably gonna get fired in 10 weeks, but look, at least you're gonna get some money for the next 10 weeks on top of your money that the Jets owe you. So don't worry about it. Like, but that's another thing that, like, to your Steelers pick, the issue with Aaron Rodgers is not necessarily talent per se, in my opinion. Because my thing, you remember I had said this a couple years back, like when Aaron Rodgers got hurt, we didn't have the offensive line for Aaron Rodgers. Then he ends up getting hurt 4 plays into game 1 for the season. And then this season, our offensive line was a little better, but it wasn't dramatically better, even though we had picked up Tyrod Smith. I even said that I didn't think that was going to be like, he's a guy who gets hurt a lot anyway. So I don't think that that's like this huge pickup that PFF made it seem. I think the offensive line is better now that Aaron Rodgers is gone. I don't think the Steelers have a tremendous offensive line. The Steelers are going to have to win a lot of games defensively. And I don't think DK Metcalf is good. Like, I think he has number 1 talent, but he has number 2 mentality. So I don't think he should be the best wide receiver on your team. Aaron Rodgers also has historically not done well with wide receivers his first year playing with them. As you saw with Garrett Wilson literally going crazy on the sidelines because they constantly were in miscommunication. So it's so those are the things that make me like I picked the Steelers to go over. Why? Because that's the most guaranteed bet in football right now. Because Mike Tomlin is that good of a coach, right? I don't think that they're a playoff team though. So 8-9, I think they'll finish at, and so they'll miss the playoffs. The Bengals all season has been so disastrous. I can see them winning 5 games only and everybody getting fired. As good as Joe Burrow is, as good as Jamar Chase is, arguably the best receiver in football after last season. Like you hold on. So how many pass touchdowns did Joe Burrow had?
It's funny that you even mentioned that because that's exactly who I started going to look for. Yeah. He had 43.
Yeah, I'm about to say Joe Burrow. Yo, 3 dudes have 40 touchdown passes?
Yeah, 43. Yo, this dude, 70% completion percentage, 4,918 passing yards, 43 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions.
Unbelievable. You can't have I just can't believe that he can do that again. Because that's what they need to win 9 games. They need that to win 9 games. Then they screw around. Their only good defensive player. So guess what? You already know how I feel when dudes screw around the players on their contracts. They're gonna get hurt. They're getting hurt. So now Trey getting hurt. Now they gotta pay him all his money.
Oh, Joe Burrow's a 2-time comeback player of the year.
Yeah, because he's always hurt. Why? Because they don't think that they should do anything about their offensive line. So that's what I'm like, all right, horrible offensive line. They don't have no running backs anymore. The only thing they're just like the Cowboys, except slightly better defensively. So it's like I
Wait,
can't
who?
see the
Which
Bengals.
one is slightly better defensively?
The Bengals.
Okay.
The only reason why they're slightly better defensively is because they have Hendrickson.
For one more year.
Just imagine that. Just imagine that. There's two teams in the NFL who have garbage running backs, garbage offensive lines, garbage defenses outside of their best pass rusher. They both had issues all offseason with their best pass rushers. They have one has an elite quarterback, the other one has a pretty average quarterback or above average quarterback, and they have two remarkable wide receivers. So these teams think that they can win multiple football games with a quarterback and two receivers. If these ain't the two worst ownerships in football, I don't know who are. I don't know who are. Like, for real. And the Browns. Also the Browns. Why is everything bad in Ohio? What's up with Ohio?
Yeah.
It's outside of Ohio State, there is nothing good going inside of Ohio. No, there's Cavaliers and bounce back.
You want to know why it's so good? No, you want to know why it's so bad in Ohio?
Why?
Because they're neighbored right next to them Indianimals.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yo, I know them niggas is lying on that video.
Well, I'll never forget that video. Like, he's an Indianimal. See, I thought they about to start spitting bars. And then those dudes started getting busy, getting jiggy with it. They started getting jiggy with it. I said, this ain't real, man. This is not real life, man. We're most certainly in a simulation.
Yeah. Yo, that chick, she didn't want to be in the video at all. She's like, she's in the animal. I'm surprised she said, keep me off the fucking camera. We some Indianimals. So you got the Indianimals doing that dumbass dancing.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy the Pacers lost in the finals. Because if I would have had to watch that for a whole summer, I would have lost my mind. And that's exactly what would have happened. They would have went so viral. They would have went so viral.
Yo, they would have been at the parade.
I was just about to say that. They would have been at the parade with Halliburton doing the Indiana.
Yo, now you got these two dudes talking about we don't say cap in a line, we say creaming. Yeah, like you really wearing the shiesty talk about creaming. He said, we say creaming. He's like, yo, they know.
I saw this video. This dude from Indiana was like, yo, we've never said that. I've not been in Indiana my whole life. I've never heard that before this video.
Because they probably the younger Indianimals. One of them was probably the ones holding the camera. It's like he's an Indianimal. He pointed at the camera. He's like, that dude was nodding his head like, yep, he ain't creaming.
I hope not. Hey, yo.
It's like, yo, he ain't creaming.
That is insane. Yeah, we gotta stop doing that. To the better teams, and then we'll move on to the awards and everything like that. The better teams, even though the Chiefs got beat down in the Super Bowl, they're still a clear cut, excellent team. I was saying to somebody, because everybody keeps talking about the Kansas City offense, and I'm like, it's the defense that's special about this team. And Patrick Mahomes. This team isn't very special outside of that. Rashee Rice could be a number one. He is talented enough to be that, but I don't know if he is. And of course, he's out for the first 6 games. So, like, once again, Kansas City is playing behind the 8 ball when they want to do something with their passing game. Yet, their top guy, because Rashee Rice got hurt last year.
He got hurt last year.
And then he now he's got this nonsense this year. So like, dang, I felt Hollywood Brown, even though he's a good receiver, he's not a number one. And
Nor Xavier Worthy.
Yeah. Xavier Worthy has the talent to where he probably could develop into one, but he's not one yet. And Travis Kelce is old. So it's like, and they still don't have very good, they have average to below average running backs. I like Pacheco. I like Hunt. Hunt, when he was with the Browns, was damn good. But since then, he's still in the league, but he's a serviceable back at best. Who do you have as the 1 seed?
No, I said Buffalo.
Oh, I'm sorry. You did say that.
I
got the Ravens. So the Ravens were the best roster that I had evaluated. The Ravens are just too good. Like on paper, they're just too good. And if Derrick Henry is still doing Derrick Henry things, it's easy for Lamar now. It's easy, like as Lamar showed last year. The only concern is Lamar or the Ravens tend to lose 1 or 2 games they have no business losing. Like last season, I think it was like the Raiders where they were up, the whole game until the fourth quarter. It's just like, bro, y'all lost to Aiden O'Connell. No, it wasn't Aiden O'Connell. It was Gardner Minshew, I think it was.
You lose to Gardner Minshew, that's a problem.
But like I said, it was fluky. Like there was one interception that Lamar threw where it was like it bounced off a guy and like hit the dude right in the gut, where he just literally paused in his between the numbers before he realized that the ball was there, and then and then held it. So it's just like fluky stuff. But I got the Ravens as the 1 seed. Going into this season. And then just to mention where I was coming from with the Titans being a potential playoff team is because Will Levis is gone. That's it. That's it.
Rehab, stay your ass away from the team. It's like, no, you can come to the facility.
No,
but you can't stay on the sideline. You can't sit on the sideline.
Matter of fact, why are you still in the state of Tennessee? We don't need you here. I'm half joking with that, but
just kidding, but not really.
Just kidding, but seriously, Levis is gone. And then the Titans, there was like a betting thing. The Titans had like the longest against the spread losing streak in NFL history since they've been recording the thing. That's how bad Will Levis was last year. That's how he was that dude was literally on his like Jesus take the wheel moments. that one pick where he threw the pick against the Jets and then he put his hands on his helmet like, why did I do that? And everybody in the arena or in the stadium was doing the same pose. Not literally, but that's what was going on in their mind. And then he literally had moments like that every game. Like every single game. So I'm like, yeah, you should win 6 more games off of that alone. Off of that alone. So yeah, that was my thing with the Titans. As far as like a team that I think is horrible in the AFC, hold on, let me think. I'm looking through my notes too.
Shoot, the fucking Colts.
Yes. Yes. They're the only reason why I actually no, I don't think the only reason why I have faith somewhat in the Colts, even though they have the worst quarterback situation in football next to the Saints and the Browns. The Browns are going to be the worst team in football, in my opinion. But the Colts, because they still have great offensive line play and Jonathan Taylor, and they have good receivers. So, like, outside the quarterback, they're actually good offensively. Now, defensively, not so much. But because of that, that's why I think that they can win games at least, and they got good coaching. All right, so let's get to these award predictions. And then and we got a new award added, the Protector of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm missing an award. You just let me know as we go through if I'm missing one. All right, the one that everybody cares about. Offensive Player of the Year. Let's start with MVPs for last. So let's start with Offensive Player of the Year. Who's your preseason prediction?
I'm not gonna pick a quarterback because the MVP is a quarterback award now. So
who's the last quarterback to win Offensive Player of the Year? Maybe Drew Brees.
More likely, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're giving that award to quarterbacks anymore. The only way I can see a quarterback win that award is if a different position wins that award, the MVP.
I think Offensive Player of the Year. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Malik Neighbors.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's going to get a lot of football thrown his way. For me, Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs. He's improved every year, and I think if the Lions could still be a dominant force, it's gonna be because of him. So I think Jahmyr Gibbs takes that next step and has a Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley type of year, 2,000 plus all-purpose yards, and yeah. I mean, I think he's a beast. All right, defensive player of the year.
I think he's finally going to break through. I think Max Crosby.
Max Crosby. They're gonna need it. I'm gonna need it if the Raiders gonna make these playoffs. I need bro to get off that 14 sack boy and start hitting these 17, 18s, dog. Nah, but yeah, Max Crosby's a beast. I like him. Just thinking about him. Can we stop stereotyping? Can we stop as fans or as sports media stereotyping?
What do you mean?
The dude is an athletic freak.
They call him blue collar?
Stop saying he's getting sacks because he got a high motor. That is not
okay.
Like y'all gotta stop saying these white guys are just high motor guys. Jared Allen was 6'9", and you called him a high motor guy. Cut it out. Cut it out. Some of these guys are high really motor, athletic freaks.
Yeah, I think high motor should be a guy that is undersized but relentless.
Aaron Donald, never accused of having a high motor, even though he had the highest of motors. Ask Jared Verse.
He's like, this is one rep. Like, yeah.
Bruh. And dude was still outworking him while he was sitting there trying to catch his breath. Talking trash. That reminded me of Big Bro and me working out. And Jared Verse is in way better shape than I am. That's insane. You retired, dog. Stop it. Leave us alone. I love Aaron Donald. I miss him. One of my favorite defensive players of all time, man. All right, my defensive player of the year is actually a guy who I think is Aaron Donald-like, Jalen Carter. I think last season he showed he about to be on a mission. he about to be something serious. And I will shoot. It's funny because when it came down to rookie of the year, when he came out, and I picked Will Anderson, and Will Anderson, it actually came down to him and Will Anderson for me. But after what I saw last season, I'm like, bro, dude is on a mission, man. Dude is on a mission. He's only going to get better. That's scary. Both of them. They're so good, and they're 2 years into the league. What in the world? What in the world, man? All right. Defensive rookie of the year.
Ooh. I think because he's going to be a situational pass rusher, Abdul Carter.
He is the odds-on favorite by a wide margin.
Yeah, because what's it called? It's like, I know they're gonna be Jaguar fans to say Travis Hunter is like, chill out.
Nah, we're not even sure how much he's going to play corner to even make that
Exactly.
play.
Like, chill out.
Yeah.
And then what's it called? And even though I think that that Abdul Carter is sort of in the same realm, not with the playing both sides, but not having to start. Because it's like they already have Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns. Like situations like situational, I can see him getting 8.5 easy. So I see him getting defensive rookie of the year.
All right. So for me, I got Jalen Walker. Just to kind of be different. There's no real evaluation on that. I just like usually the guy who's the odds-on favorite is going to win it. So let's say it's by a wide margin. I think second was Travis Hunter. No, he was the highest defensive back rated but he wasn't. I forgot who was second. No, I think Jalen Carter was second. I mean, Jalen Walker was second with at 10-1, and what's his name is a 2-1 favorite. So yeah. So Jalen Walker, just because he's on a team that has never been able to pick good defensive linemen in the Falcons, and who knows? Maybe more, or maybe Raheem would be able to scheme him up and get him 8 to 10 sacks. All right, offensive rookie of the year. Who you got?
Offensive rookie of the year. Shit. I was torn between Genty and Ward, but I think I'm gonna go with Ward because because the quarterback. He's gonna play a lot, get a lot. Actually, no. I'm gonna go with Genty. Because even with Ward being the starter and everything, he could easily throw 17, 18 interceptions. It's like, because he has like a Trevor Lawrence year, even though he's not going to have the same type of coaching. Trevor Lawrence had 12 touchdowns and 17 interceptions. That can be his year if nothing goes right. As with Genty, he could rush for 1,000 and have like 500 receiving yards out of the backfield.
Yeah.
And it's like if he had 1,200, if he has I think if he even gets if he gets 1,500 or 1,600 all purpose yards, easily.
Yeah, it's ironic. I was down to Ward and Genty, and I went with Genty for that reason. Because I'm like, dude is likely gonna have 1,500 yards and 12 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So while Ward is probably going to rely heavily on Calvin Ridley, so Calvin Ridley might just get a bunch of stats this year, but Ward could, like you said, turn the ball over a lot. I don't think he will, just because I think the offensive line is going to be better. Especially, they have arguably the greatest offensive line coach of all time,
Mm-hmm.
Bill Callahan. So I think the offensive line is going to be better, and also because Will Levis is gone. But don't talk to me, people. Don't.
Yeah.
The team is just better.
With
They
him
don't
not in the
have. They
building,
don't
there's a
have.
different type of vibe.
There's a completely different type of vibe. They're not sitting here like, yo, we're gonna lose this because we're gonna do everything we can, and he's gonna f it up.
I'm saying, who keeps on putting fucking mayonnaise in the coffee? Like, we don't have to.
Mayo in the coffee is.
Yeah, who
That's
keeps on putting?
why. That's why he was horrible, because he puts mayo in his coffee.
It's like, yo, who keeps on putting Miracle Whip inside the fucking filter? I gotta ask you before we move on to the next one. You is Miracle Whip and mayonnaise the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I haven't had Miracle Whip in probably 10, 15 years though.
Because I remember when we used to have sandwiches as
Miracle,
kids, you
yeah,
would
no,
get
yeah,
Miracle.
Miracle Whip. I loved Miracle Whip. I don't even know. I think the because Lincoln Lollipop's mom did not like Miracle Whip, so I ended up developing a taste for mayo.
Mm.
I always hated mayo, but after kind of I just kind of like developed, and so I haven't had it and also Duchess doesn't like Miracle Whip either, so I haven't had it in shoot. No, longer than that. How long have I been divorced?
Long enough.
Jeez. 2015 is 2025. So it's probably been 20 years since I had Miracle Whip. Probably been 15 to 20 years. But Miracle Whip technically is a salad dressing. It says salad dressing on there, while mayo's not a salad dressing.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I think the British call it something, salad sauce or something. It's like they call it. Yeah, man. Let me look that up.
Salad sauce and Sacman and Suckman for $4 bills.
Stuck man for $4 is still the most horrendous thing I've ever heard in my life. Just, bro, I'll just give you the bills. You ain't gotta do nothing. You ain't gotta do none of that, dog. I'll give you all the bills you need, man. You need 10, 20, 100. I don't even got it. I'll find a way just to avoid that.
Just so you don't say that shit to me again.
Just don't say it. Yeah, so
fucking salad sauce.
Yeah, it's called salad something.
That's
Salad cream. Salad cream.
That doesn't make it any better. It's like you pass the salad cream.
Salad cream.
He said, you better pass the salad cream before I suck men before this.
You sucking man for $4 bills, he gonna give you all the salad cream. What salad on that? Who puts mayo in salad?
At least get all the salad cream you want.
All the salad cream you can desire, bro.
Yeah. What was the next award?
I don't know. I lost track.
Like we were just talking about offensive.
We never do coach of the year, right?
Yeah, we haven't done coach. No, we just did.
No. I'm saying like in the past, have we done that?
No, I think we did last year.
Okay, so let's go coach of the year.
So
I was looking up some odds. Coach of the year is usually reserved for a guy who does way better than expected. So I'm going with D'Amico Ryans.
Okay.
With that offensive line, if they can make the playoffs, he's got to be the coach of the year. And I got them in the playoffs. What is the division at that? So that's what I need. I need all those things to line up so I can get D'Amico Ryans coach of the year. Who you got? Who you thinking?
If you got the Raiders getting to the playoffs, I got Pete Carroll.
Wow. It's got to be a coach of the year type deal, bro.
Yeah, dude. I'm getting sick and tired of these. Coach of the years with the best record in the league. Like, nah, you need to get into a guy whose team was gonna be scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yo, your roster makeup is buns aplenty, and you win.
And you get to the playoffs. I don't give a shit if you a wild card team.
Yeah, exactly, dog. Exactly. All right, this new award, we never do comeback player of the year because it's impossible.
No, it ain't.
I mean, to be honest, I guess best case scenario is Christian McCaffrey.
Right, because they got the I looked at the I'm on NFL.com and I looked up the odds for who they have.
Who they got?
But so
I know CMC got to be one.
Yeah. They have on here, they have Aiden Hutchinson at plus 275. They got Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, no, they have.
I didn't even know defensive players qualified for that.
I didn't know either. They had so they had they have Aiden Hutchinson, and Dak Prescott got the same odds at plus 275. Christian McCaffrey's at plus 300 and JJ McCarthy is at plus 1,000. And out of all of them,
I'll go Hutchinson.
And out of all of them, I'm going with Trevor Lawrence.
What? What is him coming from being garbage does not count.
Not remember he missed a chunk of the year after getting the concussion.
How many games did he miss?
I think he missed like
I thought he only missed like 2 games.
No, he didn't miss 2 games. I think he missed like 6 or 7.
Oh.
Yeah, after that game,
that qualifies. That qualifies.
Yeah, after he got hurt, they said
Dak missed half the season.
Yeah,
that's about half the season.
And then even with Christian McCaffrey, I think he missed a chunk of the year.
Yeah, I think he only missed 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, he missed a chunk of the year, and I think he actually came back last year.
Because he was a candidate last year, I think.
He came back last year, and I think he got hurt maybe like 4 games in, and then he left again. Then he got See, now Aiden Hutchinson, I
I'm
could
going
I could totally agree with him if he goes at that same pace he was at last year. But if
bro.
he's not, I'm going with Trevor because of the Liam Cohen factor.
Yeah, yeah. Trevor's not. Trevor wasn't even on the odds, but he's gonna be up there soon. If he has a good year, he'll be up there. All right.
Uh,
Yeah. We never did comeback player of the year. All right. So protector of the year. Who's gonna be the inaugural protector of the year winner?
Panay Sewell.
Bro, why do I have him written down? That's exactly who I have. I didn't even, to be honest, I didn't even think. I was like, it's either going to be Sewell or Lane Johnson
Yeah,
or some left tackle that I can't think of outside of
probably fucking Trent Williams
Trent
because
Williams.
that dude is fucking ageless.
Yeah, but PFS said he's declining. What declining means is this is the first year in like 5 years that he wasn't top rated offensive tackle. He was the second rated
He
offensive
was
tackle.
second. A big fucking whoop.
I don't even know who was first. I'm like, who was number one? They didn't even mention who number one was.
It probably was Lane.
Possibly. No, there was left tackle. So Lane's a right tackle. So it had to
Oh,
be
it
something.
was a left, and
Yeah.
and I think Tristan Wirfs is a.
Yes. Tristan Wirfs was number one. That's who it was.
Isn't Tristan a right tackle?
He started at right tackle when he was with Tom Brady. He's been left tackle for the last few years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, now finally, the award you've all been waiting for. Assistant coach of the year. Let me stop.
Some guy out of some team
the
doing something.
the MVP last season, NBA and NFL went 2 for 2. This season, well, we'll do NBA in about a month.
Mm,
But NFL, who you got?
I'm gonna go with him every year. I got Lamar.
So I was back and forth between Lamar and Mahomes because the NFL doesn't like giving it back-to-back MVPs. The last person who got it was Aaron Rodgers. And I forgot who was the last person before that, but it had been a while. So they don't like giving back-to-back MVPs.
Yeah.
I do believe that this is going to be I think he's going to perform better than Josh Allen. But Lamar, I think this is going to be a year where they give it to him similar to the Joel Embiid situation.
Yeah.
Whereas like we should have gave it to him last year, but even though he might not be necessarily playing better. And then also one thing I did find out is I think this is the reason why Lamar didn't get MVP. They have not given MVP to a team that was not, or to a player on a team that was not a top 2 seed at the quarterback position. And remember, Lamar was the 3rd seed.
Mm.
So, because Lamar, I think, is going to have the best record in football, and also, I was actually very strong on Mahomes until the Rashee Rice stuff came out.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, yeah, it's going to be Lamar. Because I thought Mahomes. And another thing is, 40 touchdowns seems to be the benchmark for MVP. Got to have at least 40 touchdowns in today's MVP race. 40 touchdowns, top 2 seed is the MVP, and Lamar fits that criteria. So Lamar wins his 3rd MVP, and let's go to the real deal, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Who's winning the Super Bowl? Who you got playing in the Super Bowl? Then who you got winning the Super Bowl?
I think it's going to be. I think the Eagles are going back,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to be facing a new opponent
Mm.
in the Baltimore Ravens.
Mm.
And Baltimore's defense is just too good.
Mm.
I got Baltimore beating them 27-23.
Dang, bro put a score on it too. That's crazy.
Lamar Jackson's going to win MVP.
And a Super Bowl in the same year.
3 touchdowns. Yeah, 3 touchdowns. 2 passing, 1 rushing. All right, let me shut up. I already said what I said.
So I'm going with the Super Bowl that I want. Not necessarily the Super Bowl that makes the most logical sense. The most logical Super Bowl, to be honest, is what Zero said. Ravens, Eagles, birds versus birds. But this is Super Bowl I want. Lions and Bills getting dominated. That's what I want. I don't care what none of y'all have to say. I want Lions versus Bills. I want Josh Allen to finally beat Mahomes in the AFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And then he runs into the Lions. 2 teams similar to the NBA playoffs or the NBA finals, where it would have been 2 teams for their first championship in their franchise's history. That's what I want. That's what I'm rooting for. I don't care. Look, when it comes to these predictions, yes, do I want to be right all the time 100%? But right now, I don't care. This is an emotional pick.
You know what? You know what? What's it called? Because you're right. The logical pick is what I chose. The one I would love to see is Detroit and Jacksonville. 2 teams I've never made it are the 2 that find each other there.
Let's go with what we want, man. Forget the logic right now, man. Let's go with what we want.
Yeah, you know what? That's what I want. That is what I want.
Matter of fact,
lock it in.
Matter of fact, Jets Eagles. Let me stop. Bro, you got them in the playoffs. How they making the Super Bowl?
How the fuck they making the Super Bowl? It's like because we made a trade mid-season.
You know what I'm saying?
So they did.
You got the best coach in football, man. Stop playing with it.
So we made a trade mid-season. We were still losing, but we got what was that? We got a sympathy pick or a sympathy vote like they be doing for the Football Hall of Fame for guys who had to wait 20 something years to get in. That's what we got. We got a sympathy seed.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going with the Super Bowl I want. Realistically, Ravens or Chiefs from the AFC, and Philly is the best team in the NFC. So any of those teams versus Philly makes sense.
So
but my I'm not saying that's a hedge. My prediction is the Super Bowl I want. Bills versus Lions, and the Bills getting beat down.
You can't even say the Lions winning. You just or the Lions blowing them out. You said the Bills got to get beat down.
Bills got to get punished. I want Josh Allen to suffer in the worst of ways.
Like it's like don't say Detroit winning. Say Buffalo losing.
Now, in all honesty, if they did meet, I think it would be a blowout. I think that's why I'm saying it. If the Lions don't, if whoever if it's, I would like to see who the championship matchup teams are to see, like, and of course we'll get to their one at the end of the season. But if it's Philly and Detroit, whoever gets out of that game is going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If it's Philly and somebody else or Detroit and somebody else, I would feel differently. But if it's the two teams that I feel like are the best rosters in football, then yeah, it's one of those teams who's going to win. But if it's two teams, just kind of get the luck of the draw and get in there, then yeah, the AFC team is most likely going to win. All right, let's wrap this up. It's been a little long, so let's go to our parting shots. Zero, what you got?
My parting shot is that Darman videos are the greatest videos of all time.
Well, you see,
some obscure story. Yo, the one I sent you, I don't know if it was today or yesterday. The one I sent you, yo, that chick was laying into that black man. Like, I didn't know that folks could just walk up to the hospital and say, "Hey, who needs a kidney? I got one." I didn't know that folks could
that's
do that
definitely
shit.
not good. Definitely cannot.
It was like you just walked in and wrote signed a waiver and said, "I'll give him my kidney for who needs it." It's like she's been on the waiting list for years. She's been waiting on the waiting list. Squeeze inside. She ain't waiting no more.
It don't make no damn sense.
It's like, yo, the way that shit went down. You snapped on him on the plane. So my daughter's sitting here. I'm concerned for her safety. And then Darna's like, thank you for watching my videos. I don't know why I talk like this every time. It's like, he's like, now if you want merch, just go to darman.com. It's like, has he talked like this? Yeah, shout out to the legend. Because these unrealistic ass videos just get funnier and funnier every time.
He doesn't mean for it to be comedy, but
it's
us.
It's us. It's like when you got a homeless dude walking up to a rich couple inside of a parking lot that valet is the only people who should be getting in that bitch. It's like, how the fuck you get in here? It's like, is that you, Emily? It's like, I knew him from high school. It's like, was he that dirty in high school too?
Yeah, why did you even recognize him?
I was saying, it's like, how'd I recognize him? You see? It's like, I find dirty people to act all the time. That's my part in shot. Darman videos are amazing, as unrealistic as the motherfuckers are. A teacher making fun of a fat kid. So it looks like you didn't miss lunch.
That's funny. My parting shot is my apologies for the delay on Lando sports discussions. It's gonna be a 32 teams in 32 minutes. So we're gonna give a 1 minute evaluation. I'm gonna break it up into two parts. NFC will be dropping tomorrow. AFC will be dropping the day before or the day after that. So you'll get all my predictions, over unders, when it comes to the season, and quick breakdowns on every single team. So like I said, NFC will be dropping tomorrow. AFC, well, I guess y'all will probably see it before this episode comes out. Now I think about it, but I do want to have an official apology, and also I know I normally do the top 32 quarterbacks list on our social media, aster.media on Instagram. I'm going to be putting up the top 10 of every skill position, and then I'll be doing the best at each position on the offensive line. And so top 5 or top 10, top 10s for the skill positions or the skill positions. Top 5 for the defensive positions, and then the best for the offensive lines. Best at each position. So I'll be dropping all of that before the season, and hopefully y'all enjoyed that content. Actually, I probably won't. I don't even know about time before the season starts, but I will be dropping those lists out very soon. All right, at least the quarterback one. At least I know. Yeah, the quarterback one. I already got that prep. So, just tune in. Follow us on Astro.media. Follow us on TikTok, Between Brothers Podcast. Thank y'all so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.